Just wanted to share that I now have a Patreon. If you like my content and want to keep supporting what I do, you can join up for as little as $5 and get a couple of really cool perks, including exclusive video content that I will be producing just for Patreon. And then even if you're not a Patreon, you can actually buy the digital files for the playmats I designed. Link for the Patreon will be down below in the shop, and let's get into the video.
Hello everybody, my name is Connor and we are here with Katakuri versus Smoker. I love Smoker. He's such a cool... I love the altar, I love the character. I am excited for the starter deck to come out, but we are playing Katakuri. So my plan here is to swing 7 and put down a Shirahoshi. I feel like Shirahoshi is going to be really good into this matchup. We swing 7, we see that our top life is actually a Hiyori. And that's great because we just top decked a zero cost event. That's great. Next turn I'll be able to, or if I get hit here, which I most likely will, take any hit he swings at me, especially because I know it's a Hiyori. I can put the zero cost in my life, Katakuri effect, move it to the bottom. It is the cheekiest move. So my opponent goes ahead, swings 5, and I get the Hiyori. It is a very cheeky move. Yeah, it's part of the reason why I like playing Katakuri so much. Alright, so we are on 5 Dawn. We're going to use 2 Dawn to play the Hiyori. We top deck the Kikanojo. So, that is pretty cool. We get the Flampe. We put the zero cost event up top there. And I'm trying to see if I want to play anything out. I end up swinging another 7, moving the zero cost to the bottom of my life, giving me that extra life. He blocks and gives me the 2k there with Borsellino and the Super 2k, and I play down another Shirahoshi. My thought here is it's good to see Shirahoshis, and against Smoker, who's going to be, you know, getting a benefit from dropping my characters to 0 and potentially popping them, Shirahoshi seems really strong here, so... He goes ahead, puts the Dawn on Smoker, minuses Shirahoshi. If he can minus her by 1 more, he will get an extra 1,000 to his power, which is pretty good for him. Not so great for me, but he ends up playing 2 to do the brand new searching for something. He ends up getting the Smoker and putting the rest in trash. That Smoker is a really solid card. I know a lot of black decks are starting to run it more, and I think with the Smoker starter deck, it's going to be a little bit more powerful coming up here. So with 1 Dawn attached to leader and 3 Dawn remaining, my opponent is taking some time to figure out what he wants to do. I'm feeling okay. Excuse me, I apparently just have something in my throat. But he ends up just attaching the rest of his Dawn, swinging a lot at lead here, and I'm fine taking it. We end up getting Thunderbolt, and here I'm trying to remember if Borsellino can be KO'd here, and I'm like, can I read Borsellino real quick? And he's like, yeah, you can't. He can be KO'd by effects on my turn. I'm like, oh, thank you. Then I will Thunderbolt with a Borsellino. So yeah, this tournament I definitely did get really lucky with a lot of my triggers. I'm not gonna deny that. Getting rid of that Borsellino there was very helpful because it kind of just gives me free access to his life. He does have a pretty massive hand, but I do know my opponent told me after the game that he just did not have a lot of counter. So there's a couple of options, something I can do here. If I swing, I think I have my Dawn separated because I can swing pretty big and get Kikanojo online, or I can play out Perispero and Kikanojo, and I do end up swinging big. We get the 10 Mom, that's great. We don't have one in hand. Yeah, because there is no Borsellino, he has to take that, and I tap forward, play out the Kikanojo, and passing turn. So I just feel like I am absolutely in the driver's seat this game. Of course, you know, I feel like with playing against black decks, that can absolutely turn in an instant, but I am pretty pleased with where I'm sitting. Definitely bouncing my leg a little bit, it looks like. The Thunderbolt really kind of just cleared the way for me to deal with him, at least get him lower, because of course he could have just blocked out of that last hit and Kikinojo would not have been online. So now, even if he is able to KO Kikinojo by lowering her cost, I'm still getting healed. So we're sitting pretty. But he ends up dropping 8 and playing out the Borsalino and the Suru. He uses Suru to minus, I think, the Shirahoshi, and I think he needs a Dawn to get the plus 1,000 on his leader. I could be wrong though. So he ends up swinging 5, and I'm thinking I don't need to get the 1k yet, or the 10 drop mom yet, so I give him a 2k to get out of that hit, and we do get Egghead Luffy, which is certainly useful at this point. I am definitely a little more nervous with Gecko on the field. I'm thinking I can deal with Gecko relatively well, but it is definitely a little scary having him on the field. That is a big body. Thankfully, I do have the 2 blockers, but we will see. So, not feeling like there's a ton I can do here, so I think I am separating out some Dawn. Just trying to see what I want to do, and I'm thinking so this here I end up taking the Flampe to take the 10 mom and draw a card just to see if I can get something else, and I do end up getting a Hiyori, which is pretty nice, especially because I do have a Capone in my hand. And so I think I am debating on if I want to Hiyori the Capone in my hand, or even the Paraspero. Paraspero would get me a body on board, but with how much Dawn I have, I think I am thinking about just hard playing the Paraspero. So I tap 2, I get the Onami out of life, and I'm thinking, oh wait, hold on, I actually kind of want to keep that there. So maybe swinging with leader should have been what I should have done, but I do end up putting the Onami back in life. I'm thinking if he doesn't get rid of Borsalino, or if he takes, I can get Borsalino on the clap back. So I do have 5 Dawn remaining. I'm debating on if I want to play Egghead Luffy. I don't feel like there's a strong enough target to pop anything with. It is nice, the drawing effect, like I could pop something with it, but I end up swinging 7 at life, and he gives me the Borsalino and the Khalifa for counter, and I'm thinking at this point I am going to swing 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to go ahead and check his life, and it's a Rebecca. I don't really want to put that at the bottom of it. Well, okay, I guess I do. I don't want him to get the benefit of using or getting the Rebecca and being able to bring something useful back. And I tap 3, and I think I should have replaced Flampe, but I replaced Hiyori for a Paraspero. I'm thinking it's another body on board. I will take the life. I have a decent amount of counters in my hand, and I do have 10 drop mom. So I'm thinking I can take the life, pop the Borsalino, and kind of retaliate there. So unfortunately for my opponent, a lot of the things on my board are, if you kill them, I get a benefit. There is a benefit to you killing them. Paraspero will get a Searcher. Depending on how you KO Shirahoshi, she can gain me a life, and Kikinojo, she will gain me a life. So the 2 of us sitting at 2 life. I'm feeling pretty good. I know secretly I have about 3 life. 4 if you count the big mom coming down. And I know my opponent is kind of in a tough spot. I know that they don't really have a lot of counter in hand. I know that their hand is looking kind of tough. So I am nervous though, because I don't really know what Smoker even runs currently. the general, like a general good, like black deck, but my opponent goes ahead and swings. I think he minuses the Flampe to get the extra boost, so that's 6, 7, 8. And I take and I pop the Borsalino with Onami, which I remember we kept being like,
how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
because I just kept popping the Borsalino over and over. So, pretty amusing to me, at least. So he swings 9 with the Gecko, and I end up blocking with Shirahoshi. I don't want to give zero cost event and counter, and I don't want to take my last life. I am fine giving him a Shirahoshi here. And then with the remaining 8, he plays another Gecko and brings back Borsalino. And I'm like, come on, man, get him out of here. He just keeps coming back. The Borsalino that never leaves. But yeah, I'm feeling like depending on what he has in his hand, there is a chance I can go for game. And I was thinking about Thunderbolting something. Like, is it worth it? Not currently. I'd love another. I'd love to be able to put something in the in my life, the Thunderbolt in my life, but I don't have the ability to do that. So I go ahead and I poke 5, getting a Helmeppo out of hand. I go ahead and I poke 6. I'm thinking, yeah, so I'm thinking I'm feeling like I'm dropping 10 Mom here. I poke 5 with the Katakuri, and he ends up taking, which I'm okay with. I end up tapping 10 and trashing his Rebecca. It's almost like I planned that. I did not. I am definitely nervous though. I'm thinking, did I mess up? Like, I don't know what my opponent has. He has his full 10 Dawn. Yes, my board, I have a blocker and like technically 3 life on my board, but if you count the 0 cost event, but it's definitely still a little stressful. If I can live this turn though, unless he pulls out another Borsalino, yeah, it is, I'm feeling pretty comfortable here. But we'll see what my opponent does. I do have some counter in hand, which is nice, and I can 0 cost event and use the Thunderbolt, which is also really nice, because then I don't have to get rid of a card with counter or a card with value such as my 10 Mom. So yeah, it kind of just... So my opponent decides to swing 9 with Gecko, and I end up taking the life, and I get a beige, which is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. 10 Mom put a beige in my life. I don't think I could have asked for a better trigger right there. Yeah, that is brutal. I was definitely worried about the double Gecko swing because no Dawn needed to be invested there, but beige really stopped that there. So thank goodness for yellow doing yellow things. But this definitely makes my opponent have to change up his turn. I mean, just having Gecko be unable to attack is pretty tough. He does still have 3 attacks, but that's a lot of Dawn that you have to invest in Suru, and that's a decent amount of Dawn you have to invest in Brand New, which with 4 cards in hand and another life and the blocker, the chance that 3 attacks is going to be enough is, it's there, but it's not secure. So yeah, my opponent goes ahead, and I want to say that's like 9 with Brand New. I could be wrong. I think it's actually 7, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I end up countering out to 8. Granted, I could block her. I could take. If he swings anything under If he swings anything under 8, I can block, I can take. So he ends up minusing Flampe, getting to 7, and I end up blocking with Shirahoshi. If he has a blocker, he'll most likely play that, but he ends up putting 5 on Suru coming in big. So I get the 0 cost event. I trash Thunderbolt from my hand, and I put another life up there. So I think even without the 0 cost event there, we definitely had it. So my opponent goes ahead and folds and shows me his absolutely bricked hand, the poor man. 2 smokers, 2 Luccis, Ice Age. It's tough out there. It is very tough out there. And yeah, 0 cost event putting Frankie in life, that's pretty solid. So yeah, that is gonna do it. That is round 2. We are 2-0 in our treasure comp run. Feeling pretty good. Katakuri. I know you guys. I know nobody likes watching yellow, but I like playing yellow, so I am so sorry. I'm a big gambling guy. So yeah, I feel pretty confident with the way I played that, and yeah, I had a good time with that one. And also playing against Smoker, very cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Also, guys, before I do out my usual outro, links down below. I'm sure you guys have seen before the videos. I do have a Patreon, and I am looking for a place to host my online shop where I sell, playmats and card sleeves and all of any TCG accessory that I can figure out how to make, I will sell. So yeah, all that is listed down below, but I'm gonna shut up now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.